while you being here in Lahore, the city of your great-great-grandfather, what's your feeling? And you use the term for yourself, daughter of Lahore. What is the emotion and sense behind it?
Yes. Well, my Dadi Ji was my last living link to Lahore, and she never stopped talking about the splendor and the generosity of this city. That is how I went to bed every night. So Lahore has certainly lived up to the place that she remembers so fondly. And the bittersweet part is that my father's generation thought that the legacy of Sir Ganga Ram had been wiped away from Lahore and from the buildings that he worked so hard to create. And of course, nothing could be further from the truth. It is my greatest honor and privilege to know that the people of Lahore have kept his spirit alive for over a century. It's truly one of the greatest displays of humanity I've ever experienced.
How do you see the philanthropist work of Sir Ganga Ram, especially his work for the women and marginalized communities?
Well, Sir Ganga Ram clearly believed that a society needed to be measured by those who were least off, those who needed support and help the most. And because he really focused first on making sure people's stomachs were full, that they had light to live by and find a sense of purpose, but then he believed that the other great works he created made life worth living, made society great. And he never stopped wanting to build more and do more, knowing that the people of Lahore were so generously appreciating that work.
What's your opinion how we can betterly preserve all these buildings and places related to him?
Well, first I want to say I have been so impressed with how well kept many of them have been. It's a credit to Sir Ganga Ram and a great building style and the kinds of buildings that people want to keep in use. But it's also a deep credit to the people of Lahore. It's almost like people knew his great-great-granddaughter was coming, and they've kept the buildings in wonderful shape for my visit, including his samadhi, which was just recently restored. So the buildings are generally beautiful, and of course there's always the need for maintenance of such historic buildings. But what I have heard and experienced from people is a desire to be more generous, to want to remember the past and, you know, the greatness of that era.
How we can carry the legacy of Sir Ganga Ram? We can make him bridging the links between the people of different beliefs and culture.
You know, every time a child learns to read, every time a person is fed, and every time someone does a good work on behalf of someone else without worrying about if they're going to get credit or, you know, if they're going to be celebrated for it, then Sir Ganga Ram's legacy is alive, because he gave everything he had, and when he had nothing left, he still gave more. And I see that generosity here, and I think this is a reminder around the world of how great a person can be and what we can aspire to. Sir Ganga Ram would not want us just to look back, but to look forward. When you think about his hydropower station in Ranala, when you think about the hospital that has, you know, helped thousands of people, and now probably 1 million people give birth to children, he would want to make sure that we're thinking about what the future needs. What is the future of climate change and energy? What is the future of healthcare? And how can we continue to innovate so that we have another 100 prosperous years on this earth? So I am going to be privileged to come back and work on not only remembering him, but thinking about how we can be the modern day Sir Ganga Ram and continue to turn the power on for people, make sure they have food, make sure they have education in a new way.
Last, tell us about the Lahore. You visited the Lahore. What inspired you most, especially its culture, heritage, and food?
Everyone asks about the food, and the food has been really tremendous. You know, it actually, I think the nicest part is that it reminds me the most of my Dadi Ji's cooking. You know, a very simple, substantial meal. You know, every meal we've had has been just incredibly wonderful and has reminded me of home cooking. So I just want to thank the people of Lahore for their hospitality. I can't pick a favorite building or a favorite project, because each one not only is a beautiful work of art, but it creates special opportunities for people to have their lives saved, to, you know, experience modernity and experience something wonderful. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that makes me happy to be here and to keep coming back.
Kesha Ram, thank you very much to talk to PTV. Thank you very much.
Thank you.